Yo, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? I'm back. Now I'm back. That boy came back clean shaven. I'm sorry, man. Had to come back on this junk, man. It's crazy right now. It's the week of Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen. The MAGA's right wing Wyoming, the homebred, what was it, Paul Bunyan, and the blue cow paving the way for America, the All American quarterback versus Lamar Jackson, the running quarterback with who should be playing wide receiver. What's the other shit? Or it should be what's another race? It should be stealing cars or hubcaps or gold chains. You know, they always catch the stereotype 5 decades after. Should be snatching gold chains and grills in his mouth and a fog. So it's the what is it? It's the homegrown great American patriot Josh Allen. Who, remember, he said all that racist ass shit in 2018, all them N word. Remember, he was in Wyoming. Ain't no N words there, but that boy was N word this, N word that, all in his tweets and shit. And then yes, I ain't forget that shit. 2018, I ain't forget. And versus Lamar Jackson, who they was trying to make a wide receiver, who's now on the verge of 3 MVPs, back to back years MVP, while Mahomes in the same league, cuh. You know what I'm saying? And they keep giving Mahomes people to have. Remember, Lamar ain't got no real number one. He had Tyreek, he had Kelsey. He's making Mark Andrews something. When Mark Andrews went down and got hurt, what happened? He turned Isaiah Likely into that. So come on. And now he don't even got Zay Flowers, who he developed into a number one. And they still winning in the playoffs. So, but before we get to the Lamar Jackson, the playoffs, we gotta talk about Drake. Oh my god. Holy shit, bruh. The hits keep coming. Oh my god. If lame was in the dictionary, this nigga and his whole OV ho, Aubrey Angel, Aubrey Angels, nigga, you got the same fan name as the Swifties and the Beehive. That's women, my nigga. You a bad bitch, my nigga. That nigga, a bad bitch. So you on this period too? Oh. Say it ain't so, brother. Say it ain't so, boy. Hey, man. Hey, you just destroyed this whole era that's been happening since the end of the '90s. After the whole crunk era, all this preppy white boy, black boy swag, skinny jeans. White people are great, and all this assimilation of whiteness that's been going on. It started in pop culture, and then we saw it in the schools. If you were around during the new boy days and the whole Wayne rocker days, and if you were in high school around that time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you was a freshman or sophomore in high school and Wayne was switching everything over and they was making party like a rock star, totally dude, and doing all of that, this cycle that we've been in of hip hop where it's been devolving and it's turned into this punk rock weirdo shit. It's been happening for the last 20 years. It really started '05. '05, isn't it? The five, isn't that interesting? The last 20 years, that's what ushered. It started to usher in the Drake era, but Drake came in a couple years later, '09, 2010. By 12, he got the crown. But it had been ushering in a 20-year cycle that we ended up falling into. Because prior to that, remember, we was wearing black owned everything. Fubu, Shanjan, Rockaware, Fila, everything was black owned. That was the shit. And we was rocking it. And it was swag. It wasn't like black owned, but the swag looked dusty. It was black owned and it was hard. It was what was in. You was wearing the other shit. You was looking like a Nork. Now we've been in a 20-year cycle of propping up white labels and making white labels popular. This is just Kendrick said. Tommy Hilfiger stood out, but Fubu never had been your collection. So you know what I'm saying? See, he was bringing in that demarcation line. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of people didn't grow up under. You know what I'm saying? You didn't grow up with no black consciousness for real. A lot of non FBAs, a lot of coon niggas, a lot of ratchet people, a lot of boule. My name is Thaddeus Mattias the third, and I have 8 degrees and all that shit. I got degrees, but I ain't no damn sellout. But you know that's why y'all need to read Carter G. Woodson, The Miseducation of the Negro, for the boule. I'm better than all black people set, but and for the lowbrow too, for the ratchet shoot up the club and all that other dumbass shit. But back to the back to the main topic at hand. We've been in a 20-year cycle, like I was saying. So after the crunk era and the big white tee and the black owned wardrobe and shoes and everything was in, we got a 20-year cycle of whiteness really ushered in by a lot of non-FBA blacks, if we want to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I could tell the difference between Dade and Broward. When I was in Dade, they were still wearing they tees a little bit more baggy. Yeah, they was conforming somewhat, but not really. They were still keeping it baggy. But when I was up in Broward, I'm talking South Florida shit, everything was tight. And I had me a pair of skinny jeans. I ain't finna even pretend like I didn't. I had a pair of skinnies for 1 year. You feel me? For 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Now everything fit. But yeah, so I had a pair. How old was I? 14, 15, and we was going along with the trend. We were being trendies around that time, without any sort of consciousness, which is why I'm glad Kendrick is on top right now. And I'm jumping, but that's why I'm glad, because he's ushering in that consciousness. But before I jump, I got to go back to what I was saying. So we've had a 20-year cycle of this. So after the white tee, up in my white tee, big 3, 4, 5X white tees, and the black owned labels and the throwback jerseys and all of that. After all that, the black shit, we got the white boy shit. So Ed Hardy, Hollister, AE, even Gucci, Louis, Prada, all that's white labels. We were overhyping all of that. Yeah, sure, they were wearing Versace and all that in the '90s and before that, but it wasn't overly emphasized. There was still some balance. By the time Drake era ushered in, there was no more balance. All the black consciousness had waned out, and so you got him coming to power at the same. It's not a coincidence that him and Obama and all of the non-FBA push came around the same time. That's not an accident. That's not an accident. And they pushed them all at the same time, and their ascension was iconic. So just watch for part 2.